time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another episode of The Oil Stream, presented to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. And nothing says a Wednesday in February like some delicious Popeye's chicken nugs. Over a dozen locations in the Edmonton area, a new one on the way in St. Albert as well. You cannot go wrong with Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen and their delicious, delicious chicken. Tommy, what's up, buddy?
Not much, Dusty. Good to be back. Nice to have you here. And let's do this thing, pal. It's been 2 weeks, I think, almost.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, thanks for filling in for me on the show last week. Had some family stuff I had to take care of, and back with the Oil Stream. We are going to jam in a couple of extra episodes this month, so we still get in 8 or 9 episodes in the month of February. Short month, but lots of hockey games. We're obviously going to get to the game last night, but a little bit of an emotional day here on the Oil Stream. As Tommy, this will be the last Oil Stream that you ever do wearing glasses. It's blowing my mind, buddy.
Oh, I know. Enjoy it. I think it was a girl a couple of weeks ago messaged me, and I told her I was getting LASIK. She's like, I'm going to miss you with your glasses. You always look so cute. So I was like, all right, confidence boost right there. And then secondly, I've had glasses for like 23 years. I'm ready to ditch them, man. Contact lenses get headaches after a few hours. So hopefully all goes well tomorrow, knock on wood, at the surgery. And, this time Friday, I think, hopefully I should be good to go for the Oil Stream sans glasses.
Would you ever wear glasses just for fashion?
No.
Okay.
I don't care.
Just asking. Yeah. Some people do, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I think I'm like, 5 to 10 years away from reading glasses anyway. I think that's kind of like 40 to 45, right? So I'm sure I'll have reading glasses, but just for the day-to-day and waking up, like I hate waking up and not being able to see anything. Everything's blurry, reaching for glasses, finding them
I hear you, buddy.
With them on in my bed somewhere. I hate it, yeah.
My biggest fear is that I go on the road and I lose my glasses and I can't call a CFL football game because I can't see, which is just like I'm always panicking. So I keep some contacts around, but I just don't see very well in contacts. Like I can wear them for hockey, but even at hockey, things are a little bit blurry. So I don't think I've got like the right fit maybe for contacts, but gotta get that taken care of. But let me know how LASIK goes. Maybe we'll both be sitting here on episodes like this, Tommy. That'd be messed up, right? The future of the Oil Stream right there.
That'll be great, hopefully.
Yeah.
One thing about contact lenses, at least you're not like Nealon Green, who forgot to bring his contact lenses for a game in Toronto and didn't mention it to anybody and played without them, not being able to see anything. And then he went and talked to the athletic therapist and said, I didn't have my contact lenses. And the AT's like, man, we carry extra contact lenses for you guys everywhere we go. Just ask me.
That is, that's an all-time story. That's a Dave Jamieson special too, for sure. All right, Tommy, let's get into last night's game. First of all, how'd post-game show go? What was the temperature of the fan base like?
The sky was falling last night, according to a lot of fans. Very fed up. It felt like one of the games in the 7-game winless streak or one of the games in the 6-game losing streak. It's crazy. Like I didn't think that the fans would blow up the way they did last night. There was some ridiculous takes. Some guys are fools. A lot of the rational ones are very well appreciated. And then we've had Terry call in a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and Terry has popped off saying it's time to blow everything up and trade McDavid and Draisaitl and bring in Jim Benning. He's done that twice. Terry, we know you need to vent. We'll give you that platform, but
that's really a take right now?
It was
blow it up, trade Draisaitl, McDavid, bring in Jim Benning.
Oh, he also threw in that there was a 2-year warning given to Ken Holland from Connor McDavid. It was an ultimatum that Terry threw out there. And I think he might be friends with the Bennings or have an attachment to them because he keeps bringing up that Jim Benning's the right guy for the job. And listen, the subsequent callers and texters were not kind to Terry. Terry, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this, bad take, bro.
If you are watching the Oil Stream today and you're not yet subscribed to the podcast, just search the Oil Stream on all your podcasting platforms and give us a sub there so you never miss an episode. Usually 2 per week. All right, let's get to Well, we got some comments rolling into the comment section. We'll get to a few of those. I did ask for some questions a little bit earlier on today. We'll get to some of those as well. We've got Buy It or Deny It for JiffyLube in Morinville, and of course, your Ken Morrison Remax question of the day. But Tommy, I mean, as far as last night's game goes, didn't start poorly, fell behind on that 5-hole goal, which Mike Smith, whether you have played in a month or not, probably got to have that one. Short-handed goalie had no chance on. I didn't like the way he played the third one, and the fourth one was a mess on a couple of different levels. But no goals. Power play looked dysfunctional, finished being -1 on the night. What would you say is the most concerning aspect of the loss last night to the Golden Knights?
I think just attention to detail. Like you kind of hinted at it there. They continue to make these mistakes. The first goal was a sequence of events that led to it. Obviously, the way Smith let it in, that was bad. Like, let's not kid ourselves. We'd rip Mikko Koskinen for that goal, so we have to rip Mike Smith for that goal. The 5-hole, that was bad. But before that, you had Jesse Puljujarvi dive in and kind of attack on the forecheck when he probably should have backed off. And then on top of that, there was the feed. It was Shea Theodore over to Brett Howden to spring him, right? And Evan Bouchard was caught flat-footed. So lack of awareness. I thought Bouchard had a really bad night, and that's to be expected from a really young. He's not technically a rookie, but
still
a guy that's a young
pretty much a rookie
in the league. So we say he's going to have peaks, he's going to have valleys. Last night was a valley, and some people ripped on him and were saying get rid of him, and some people were saying it's time to bench him. It's like, you know what? When you don't even have 100 games under your belt as a defenseman in this league, shit like that's going to happen. But it cost them, and they got schooled by a good team. And I think that was a wake-up call.
I think Mike Smith hadn't played in forever. I kind of expected him to be a little rusty, and I think the third goal was a good example of it. Gager texted me last night. He goes, that third goal is exactly how you can tell a goalie hasn't played in a while. It didn't make the right read on the play, was way back in his crease when the shot came, and ended up on his belly when it went by him. I mean, that's just not how a goaltender who's up to speed is making that play. So, give Mike Smith some time, maybe. We'll see how that sorts itself out. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. The thing that might be the most concerning out of all of it is the fact that he was stretching that leg out again last night. Like, it looked like it did not last time he came back, but the time before, right? When you're just like, like what's happening here? Or maybe it was even last time he was feeling like that, and then he left with the thumb anyway. So it's, I mean, when you see that, when you're sitting there going, you got 40 games over an 80-day stretch, and you really would like this guy to play probably 3/4 of those games, and in his first game back, he's stretching it out again. To me, that's the most concerning thing about last night's game, because if he's already feeling it a little bit, you're screwed.
Legit. That's a big-time concern, and, I think Ken Holland will try to upgrade the goaltending. We've said it from the start of the year when he struck out in the offseason. He's going to keep calling people, but nobody's going to throw the Oilers a flyer. And the names that have been kind of rumored aren't necessarily good. Like the Korpisalo rumor, is he actually better than anybody?
His numbers have sucked for the last 2 years.
Crappy team, but it's not good right now. Not good. And for those that want Marc-Andre Fleury, last time I checked in, he doesn't want to play in Edmonton. So
even if they were to kidnap him tonight, there's still no chance of him wanting to stick around.
Yeah. Last I heard was he doesn't want to even play here. I mean, the team would probably have to go on a mean heater and look like a contender for him to consider it.
Maybe he could help them on a mean heater. Maybe that's maybe he's the missing piece, right? Yeah. I would think he could as well.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, a couple of quick questions that came in earlier today, because I know you did tweet about this, and I think Zach is watching on the live stream right now. But he just has McDavid knee. Are you hearing anything else? I know you check in a little bit, but McDavid, I mean, that's a tight circle. So maybe just for people that missed your tweet about the All-Star game or didn't see it at the All-Star game, what's the latest on that, and what the hell's going on there?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. So I watched the All-Star game. I know a lot of people just kind of have it on as background noise. And I was flipping between Sportsnet and ABC, which carried the ESPN feed. And I had left it at the start of the game on the ESPN/ABC feed. And like a minute or two in, the play-by-play team, Sean McDonough and Ray Ferraro, were talking about Jonathan Marchessault and how the Pacific had 12 players. And so they had an extra guy because Marchessault was there. And then McDonough just goes, there was some concern that Connor McDavid might not be able to play. due to a minor knee issue. And I kind of perked up because I was putzing on my phone. I was like, what? And I had to rewind it and play it again. And then I was like, oh my God, I didn't see anybody say anything on Twitter. And I was like, am I the only one that heard this? Am I the only one watching in Canada I'm like, this is something we had no clue about. So I tweeted it out and, it got a bit of traction. And then there was the only other mention they had about it is McDavid literally like 10 seconds later goes in on a breakaway after busting by 2 or 3 guys
flying
and gets stopped by Freddie Anderson. And then McDonough goes, the knee looked fine there. And Ray kind of goes, yep, knee looks good. And so I text some people in the organization. They're like, we haven't heard much. I think that would be a concern. If he wasn't good to go, he wouldn't be playing. We'd keep him out. And I'm like, oh, this is bizarre. And then finally I went and dug up the video and I'm like, this is what was said. So we haven't heard from McDavid. At least I don't remember him doing post game. I was doing the show last night anyway, so we didn't have him in terms of audio. He hasn't been made available pregame today. They didn't even skate. We're not going to hear from anybody from the organization until 3:30. Tippett talks. So it's just kind of been quiet. It's a tight circle, and I mean, you don't just say that on a national broadcast without some merit to it. So all we know is that he's had a small knee issue, but he's good enough to play, and they mentioned it. So that's where we're at. And
what have you thought of him lately? Like, he's been producing. I mean, he's had where do you come out on it? Like, what do you think?
He has been. I mean, he's always going to produce. He's that good. He's that smart. But like, have you noticed that extra rocket boost hasn't been there, or consistently hasn't been there? It's so maybe
he's tried to go a couple times, right? I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, something just seems off. I don't know if it's
right.
He's trying to work in a new line mate in Evander Kane. He hasn't played much with Yamamoto this year, and these guys aren't very familiar with him. But something just seems slightly off. Not a lot off. You're not like you watch him and go, "Ooh, he's laboring," but it just seems like something's. I don't even know if it's a timing issue. I don't know, but something seems a little bit off.
I don't know. So that's where all of that tweet stemmed from, and we haven't had a chance to ask him yet. So here we are.
We'll see how that one plays out. If you're watching on the live stream, feel free to chime in the comments section. We can get to a few more of your questions if you want. But right now, let's get to your Ken Morrison Remax question of the day. Visit his website at kenrmorrison.com. If you're buying or selling, he's your guy. He's been a realtor for over 20 years. He's basically a Remax Hall of Famer. Okay, so give him a call, 780-993-4815. Maybe even text him and say, hey, you know what's going on with McDavid? Maybe that's something you could do with Ken Morrison. Tommy, what do we got for the Ken Morrison Remax question of the day?
All right, for the Ken Morrison Remax question of the day, it's simply this, Dusty. With that 4-0 loss yesterday to a pretty good Vegas Golden Knights team, is there legit reason for concern for the rest of the season from that performance, or was that just the Oilers getting schooled by a team that's been playing much better, more consistently than the Oilers, and got their number last night? Keep in mind, Edmonton was 2-0 heading into that game against Vegas this season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at it as one game last night. Like, I fully expect them to bounce back with a win tonight. I think they're going to score some goals tonight. I think tonight's game could be a high-scoring hockey game. So yeah, I saw it this morning too in the Smash It Nielsen show inbox. Like, people were pretty fired up. It did kind of feel like people forgot that before the break they were 5-0-1 in their last 6. It felt more like the 7-game winless slide that they were on, right? Like, that's what the reaction was like today, and I think it's because you're coming off a break. It's kind of been a tough couple of months. When you finally had a little bit of a bounce back, I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to do pretty well here over the next little while. So I thought last night's game was a good look at a team that you're going to have to go through in the playoffs at some point if you get to the playoffs and want to make a little bit of a run. A team that's only going to get better with Jack Eichel, a team that didn't play their number one goalie last night, a team that's missing some key pieces on their blue line, and a team that was simply, with all those things going on, still better than basically a fully healthy Edmonton Oilers lineup last night. So you want to call it a wake-up call in the overall bigger picture of where you might be right now compared to the elite in the West? Like, if Vegas is going to do that to you, what the hell is Colorado going to do to you? Outside of that, the rest of the West is kind of a little bit of a crapshoot in my opinion. So, yeah, I would not read into too much from last night's game. Outside of the power play continued to struggle. That one that one kind of baffles me a little bit.
Yeah, well, the power play, it's fallen to third. At least it was going into the game last night. They got smacked really good last night. Simply put, they got smacked. They didn't have any answer to anything Vegas threw at them, and they do need to bounce back, but they're right in the thick of things. They blew a game in hand. They're now 10-3 against the Pacific, and they have a chance to atone tonight, and that's the silver lining. So let's see how they handle the Hawks. Now, if we're talking on Friday about another loss, and this time to a Chicago Blackhawks team that's lost 7 of its last 8, we've got problems here.
Yeah, I mean, just going over the Blackhawks lineup on the show this morning. I mean, the Oilers got to win this hockey game tonight. It's as simple as that. All right, let's get to buy it or deny it for JiffyLube out in Morinville. Go see Craig and his crew Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, Saturday, 9 to 4, 8805 100th Street in Morinville. You can give them a call as well, 780-939-1034. All right, here we go. We talked a little bit about Bouchard. This will give us a chance to talk about Barrie a little bit. Tyson Berry would still have some trade value. Buy it or deny it?
Yeah, I think he would. I mean, he's got a lot of detractors here in this city, and understandably so. But, you know, other GMs are looking at the potential for offense, what he did last season, and that has value. And some people here will probably scoff at that. I get it. Defensively, he can be a mess, has been a mess for a while now. I don't know what the hell he was doing on that one goal where he backed off and could have gone and kept the puck in, or even just tried to fight for the puck. Like, he just backed off and he looked so undecided. It was terrible. I'm like, that was a horrific play by Tyson Berry. Yes, he would have trade value. How much? Debatable. I don't know how much other GMs like that contract, but believe it or not, there are teams that would probably take a flyer on Tyson Berry. Whether or not that happens,
yeah,
I think the Oilers probably would like to hang on to him, considering what they have on the right side and on the blue line in general. Unfortunately,
yeah, I would buy it as well. The guy who can generate offense the way he can. If you're a team that actually has a couple of stable right shot defensemen that you can put out there in the difficult situations, and you're looking for an offensive boost or a power play guy, Tyson Berry can fill that void. So it might not be a lot of trade value, but this is not a guy who is untradeable if they decide that they want to try to move him for more of a stay-at-homer and kind of run with Bouchard as the offensive guy with defensive warts. McDavid and Draisaitl will start the game together tonight. Buy it or deny it?
I'm going to deny it. I get the feeling they're going to keep them separated and try to roll with this 3 centerman thing. I could be wrong. Again, no practice, no indicator. I know they finished up the game last night together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, they could do it. There's so much flexibility with this group, but I'll deny it. I don't think they start the game together.
Yeah, I'm going to deny it as well. What do you think last night when they're down 3-0 and it's McDavid and Draisaitl together to start the third period again? Like, it seems like it's like the one crutch that Dave Tippett just has, and it's like, shit, we're down. Like, let's put them together and see what happens, with like no thought of what the other line looks like, which is now Cassian, McLeod, and Kane, I guess it would have been, because they left Yamamoto up there, right? So it's yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like, I saw some. Are we going to get to any of the questions via Twitter too after buy it or deny it?
Yeah, well, unless there was one you want to jump to right now. What do you?
Well, there was one kind of in regard to that. I think asking. Yeah, I'm trying to think back to what it said about the lines.
Okay, let's see. How do you go to the season if they slip further? Kind of all off time. McDavid's knee.
They're asking about Dave Tippett. You find that one?
Do you think Dave Tippett is back based on this season's results so far next season? That one?
That's the one. So thank you for bringing that one up.
Yeah, no problem. That's from Cameron.
Just to tie it in. Thanks for the text, Cameron. And I don't like Tippett's contract's up with the way things have gone, how close he was to losing his job until that Calgary win. I don't think he's coming back. That's my opinion. I mean, and he's just right now, he's just trying to get this team into the playoffs to see what happens. And he's trying to keep his job and stay away from the embarrassment of being let go with McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, so that's why, like, I think he's feeling the heat to win games, and that's why he keeps going back to McDavid, Draisaitl, you know, to some success. Lately, yesterday it didn't work, but with Tippett, I know the fire Tippett thing was big, especially during the 6 and 7 game slides. Like, he's probably not coming back next year. If he does, I'll be surprised. I'll admit it on this show. I'll admit it on my show. I'll admit it on the Smash Hit Nielsen show. But
what would they have? What would he have to legitimately accomplish for even
Maybe
like him to
Stanley
want
Cup.
to be back? Maybe like
Like
conference
Barrie
final
Trotz.
run. Like
It's
you're
Barrie
right. Remember
Trotz.
Barrie Trotz had to save.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. You're right.
And he still left after winning the Stanley Cup. Like it feels like it's already there. And so people are, he doesn't know how to work his lines. To a certain extent, true. He panics or he has these crutches, like you said, but I don't think he's coming back next year.
I talked about it this morning. You would probably know this, maybe not off the top of your head, but doing the pregame show. Like, I can't recall a time this season where he rolled out the same top 9 for like 3 or 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row. Like that just hasn't happened. I know some injuries and COVID and stuff have made it difficult at times, but it seems like you'll get 2 games, even if they go well. And if it's not going well in the 3rd game, it's like, boom, let's switch it up. It's got to be frustrating for those players to be put in that spot all the time.
Maybe, or maybe they're okay with it, but Tippett flat out said he likes to tinker and he's clearly stuck with that. So
it's true. He has stuck with it. Buy it or deny it. Stuart Skinner is the Oilers' best goaltender.
Buy it. Right now he is, unfortunately, and even he has some rough nights, or lets in some rough goals, but it's plagued all 3 of these guys. Yesterday we saw the 3rd shot go in and the 6th shot, so it doesn't matter if it's Koskinen, Smith, Skinner. This is plaguing this team and these goalies.
I'm going to deny it just because I don't know who their best goalie is. I'm not sure it's Skinner. I'm not sure it's not Skinner. I'm not sure it's Smith. I'm not sure it is Smith or it's not Smith. So
and results-wise, Dusty, you could say Koskinen lately, but is that even sustainable? The guy's in COVID. That's not his fault.
Yeah.
So,
all right, and then let's go with this one because we got a lot of text messages. I know you probably see a little bit of this on the post-game show as well, but one of Yamamoto or Puljujarvi will be traded this offseason. Buy it or deny it?
I buy it, maybe even sooner, and the one that I think probably does go is Yamamoto. He hustles. There's a lot to like about what his game could become, what type of NHL player he could be when he gets more confidence, gets that consistency, finds a little bit of that scoring touch again. But you've got, 16 points in 43 games playing with McDavid and Draisaitl all season long. It's not good enough. And I know, Puljujarvi looks lost right now.
Yeah.
His touches with the puck are pretty bad. But if you had to decide between the two, I think the majority and the consensus would be, and I think the Oilers probably feel the same way, is you're going to stick with Jesse Puljujarvi and see what he can do. Sheer size, ability,
more upside there,
big ass in front, absolutely. So yes, I could, but I buy it, and I think it would probably be Yamamoto, and I think there'd be a market for him as well.
All right, there you go. That's another episode of the Oil Stream. Tommy, you're going to be back on TSN 1260 pregame tonight. What time does that get going?
Yep. That gets going tonight at 5. We're going to have Gregor with us for the pregame. Quick 1 hour. Matty Cassian, as always. And I know Prosper, our buddy from CTV, asked about Ilya Konovalov.
Yes, he did.
Quick little progress report on Konovalov.
He's been good lately.
His game has been much better since late November. Angles and stuff were an issue, adapting to North America. And I guess he has a knack for letting in small goalie goals because he's not 6'5". He's like 6 feet tall. And the thing lately, though, talking to some people in the organization, is it's a bit concerning that Alex Stalock is taking away starts from him in Bakersfield.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. Konovalov's last 4 games, 923, 972, 952, 925. So it's 4 best games so far in the American Hockey League. Something to keep tabs on maybe moving forward here at some point as the search for a goaltender of the organization continues. I feel we'll be talking about that 3 years from now on the Oil Stream, but we'll see. Tommy, best of luck getting new eyes, and we will chat with you on Friday, buddy.
See you, Dusty.